So with my adventures asking some people some questions online about the 903, I ended up talking to this guy, I think John Nichols, in the UK. Wealth of knowledge. He was a big stagger guy, but he says he's worked on a fair bit of Massey's too, so he told me some things to check, and one of them was the transmission. He said the one support across the frame, all the bolts will loosen up, it'll sink, and you'll lose the power shift. You didn't actually lose the power shift, you just ran out of linkage. So when I was loading this on the trailer, I took a look. And yeah, and they've been loose for a while. They've augured a little hole in there. He said they'd drill them out and just put a bigger bolt. Kind of thought about just welding, since it's a pretty easy way to cut that weld. But nonetheless, he is telling me about talking to the guy who ended up buying this four-wheel drive lineup from Massey and making the McConnell mark. John McConnell, I think his name was. Said he used to talk to him a bunch about how different engines and all that. That McConnell lineup I think is really cool and kind of a neat tractor. There's one near me, and I really wanted to buy it, but I can't afford it. But this Nichols guy in the UK was kind of, I don't think they had real Tigers there. So they were kind of repowering Panthers and trying to make Panthers into bigger tractors. But that is a hell of a paint scheme. Stagger should have done that from the start. I think there's some other one. That's a really good paint scheme too. But yeah, he was talking about this Lioness. So it's just like an off-brand Stagger or repowered Stagger. It looks like they were doing some really neat things back then. I don't mind the McConnell in the yellowish orange. You can see they had to extend the frame, and they put that angle on the hood to get the 6 cylinders to fit nicely. I think a lot of these came with Detroit 60 series, but I think they had some Cummins options, like M14s also. But yeah, if you're going to stick a 6 cylinder in here, coming up to here, getting the rad to here, you just have to extend that frame to about here, which isn't really a big deal. The worst part is getting the tin work to look nice. So they just put the angle on it from the originals by the looks of it. But doing any of that stuff is really nice on these because there's no bell housings to try and bolt together. You just gotta put a drive shaft on it. Okay, I better get back to fixing that cross member. All right, drilled them out to 9/16, some Loctite, good to go. The other side was all tight, and it's super tight against the hydraulic tank is there, so I'll keep an eye on them.